In this video lesson, we will be factoring trinomials. I have three examples here of trinomials, and I want to take a look at them as though they represent the area of a specific rectangle. So the first one here says x squared plus 11x plus 24. If that trinomial represented the area of this rectangle, then we could then determine the length times the width. Because you know the area of a triangle is length times width. Well, if your area is a trinomial, then your length and width will be binomials. So here's an example. X plus 8 times x plus 3, when you work this out using the box method that you've learned, you will get x squared plus 11x plus 24. So basically what we would be saying then is that the length could be x plus 8, and then the width could be x plus 3. So a binomial times a binomial will give you this trinomial. So you have learned how to multiply these two binomials. Now we're going to work backwards where we're given the trinomial and we determine the factors of the trinomial. All right. You'll notice that this 8 and 3 will add up to 11, and they also multiply to equal 24. All right, so keep that in mind as we work through some of these other examples. So if we take a look at this one, again, we have a trinomial, x squared minus 15x plus 36. And if we were to say that represented the area of this rectangle, then we would want to find the factors of this trinomial to determine the length and the width. All right. Now, I will tell you that the answer is the x minus 12 and x times 3. All right. So we could say that x minus 12 is the length and x minus 3 is the width. And if you take a look at those, a negative 12 times a negative 3 equals a positive 36. And a negative 12 plus a negative 3 equals negative 15. So I want you to see here the relationship between these binomials and the trinomial. And again, what we're doing is we are now starting with the trinomial and factoring it to get back to the factors, which are the binomials that we multiply together to get that trinomial. Let's take a look at this last example here on this page. This is x squared minus 3x minus 40. All right. And the factors that we multiply for this one are x plus 5 and x minus 8. So again, we can make one of those the length and the other one the width. So we could say x plus 5 and x minus 8. And just to show you, if you multiply 5 times negative 8, you get negative 40. And if you take 5 and subtract 8, you get negative 3. Or we could say negative 8 plus 5. Or 5 plus negative 8. I like to say that they combine to equal negative 3. 8 negatives and 5 positives equals negative 3. All right. So that is a look at trinomials and what they look like factored. We will also be looking at what we call perfect square trinomials. Okay. Perfect square trinomials basically just means that when you factor the trinomial, you're going to get a binomial times the exact same binomial. All right. So for this one specifically, x squared plus 10x plus 25, think about some numbers that multiply to get 25 and they add up to get 10. Or better yet, what is the square root of 25? Well, that's 5, and 5 plus 5 does equal 10. So in this specific example, your binomials are x plus 5 and x plus 5 for the length and the width. All right, I have it here. You see x plus 5 times x plus 5 and you work that out. It's actually the same as x plus 5 squared. That's because this is a perfect square trinomial. All right, so that's a look at factoring trinomials. On another video, we will work some examples out together.